It is,
Okay.
yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC, and we are back. Happy Friday. Happy upcoming weekend. Quantic, how was your week? How's everything going for you?
Good, 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 man. I was just wondering, now we don't have the intro at all, like completely removed.
Yeah, it's gone now. So I am it's been a pretty hectic week for me, but the plan I have started gathering um some material to remake the intro, and then plus I'm not sure if you noticed on the timeline, but I've started developing some new video editing skills, in particular with motion graphics. And I'm hoping the plan is I'm coming up with a design for the new Ship Guild intro, incorporating that. So I'm actually really excited to
Oh,
launch that. That's gonna be
so
cool.
okay, tell me more about that because, like, I don't even know. Is that something that you learn? Is it like AI powered tool or what?
So this one does have the AI capacity. So have you used Figma before? I feel like we've used Figma together before.
Yeah, of course, I hate it.
Yeah. You know what? I used to hate it too. It was, just for the things that I needed to do, it was either too complicated or I just didn't have the
Yes,
time. It was
it's just too
annoying.
complicated if you're not a designer. Like, why can't I do it like Canva? Canva did it right, and they onboarded more users. Like, come on,
100%.
Figma, if you're listening to this, you should have at least a light version that works like that. Like, it doesn't
Yes.
take much time to just do the research and provide the thing. I mean, perhaps
Uh,
it's not the target audience. Perhaps they want people to be just designers, right? But like, I feel like
100%.
I mean, that's gonna be rendered useless, right? With AI, like you're gonna have an AI designer actually, and then you're gonna just drop things with your hands or provide instruction with your voice. Like
Yeah.
anyway,
100%, man. 100%. So the interesting thing, the way I've been seeing it is it's kind of like a comparison between Canva and then Adobe Photoshop. You know what I mean?
uh
I'm
huh,
sure, I feel like it's designated for the more technical experienced user who needs that higher capacity. You can only get so far with Canva. It does have its limitations.
yeah, of
Um,
course.
so, but now Figma, they have a new feature called Motion, and in Motion, there's you can either incorporate Claude, which is super cool, or they actually have like a built-in AI chatbot that you can then basically tell what you want, and it will do it for you. That requires a pro subscription though that I don't have yet. So for the time being, because I am brand new with Figma, I'm just kind of learning how to do everything manually so I can understand what its capabilities are, what kind of that foundation is, so that whenever I do get that subscription, I'll actually know what to prompt and then have a better chance of getting it. But I'm really excited about it. It's actually so I won't go too much about this, but I do have DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve also has a really good, like a very, very high level motion graphic component to it. But for what I'm trying to accomplish now, it is much simpler and much more basic on Figma. Again, it does have its limitations. It's not quite as basic as Canva, but it's more simple than DaVinci Resolve. But also, DaVinci Resolve can go much further. This is like the perfect, most efficient way to accomplish what I'm hoping to accomplish here. And I'm really excited about it. So expect a brand new shiny intro coming up very soon, and we'll get that hype going again.
Yeah, you think it's the intro? No, I think it's just the summer and the market. To be honest, we do have few people today, but I'm sure we're gonna pump those numbers within a few minutes once we start resharing. Um,
Yes.
Bottom line, though, I want to get into the topic of conversation by providing some context. So let me share the screen. I'm going to propose something to you, and then we are going to, we're going to dive deeper into the conversation.
Love
So
it.
first things first, um, I'm happy to say that I do not like kind of control everything when it comes to Shipguile, and that we have a team and certain coordination aspects that includes AIs and people that I'm just like not super well, super involved. And I'm glad to see that we are now having conversations with other projects that are activating the community and trying to bring some more utility. So I do wanted to talk a few minutes about this event with Supervet and Trav.
Mm,
Later on, perhaps we can provide some clips so we can resurface this throughout the weekend and throughout the next week. Oh, I think we don't have time because this is 15th of July. Wait,
that's 2
this
days ago.
doesn't make any sense. Yeah, okay. So this is the look for the people that are watching. This is the thing, the kind of thing that happens when you're not on top of things. Like people can do retarded things like create a post that is going to happen in the past and it doesn't make sense. As far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, the tournament on this collaboration is taking place tomorrow.
Yes, you are correct.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but tomorrow is July 18th.
Tomorrow is July 18th. Yes, 3
Okay,
days after this alleged date.
okay, great. So we will ask the interns to coordinate better, actually ask their agents to do the job for them, and just post the right time, I guess. Perhaps this was
Perfect.
planned before. I don't know. My understanding, this is happening tomorrow at, do you know the time?
I don't know the time, but let's. I'll see if I can dig that up as you're chatting here.
Yes, because I do want to dive deeper into the context of it. Okay, so first of all, the practical things. Um, this is a betting thing, right? Application. That essentially what you do is like if there is a popular game that you and your friends usually play, in this case, I think it's mostly for Clash Royale.
Mhm.
Then what you can do is like you will open a bot on Telegram, and then you would bet soul on your Clash Royale skills. Um, you will go into the game, you will battle, and then someone will win, someone will lose. The winner will take uh, a prize, right? And the loser will, be cooked. And of course, the platform takes some fees. I guess that we would be interested on the ShipGal side of things, first of all, to provide more exposure so that people can test it out and see if they would like to participate. Second of all, I I am very like I'm gonna get much more involved the moment we get shipped instead of just sold, so that
Yes.
our own community can participate with our own token. I'm pushing for that, but that there is some development that needs to happen there. And yeah, it seems like it's pretty much simple. But of course, if you're not linked to Clash Royale, you probably are not gonna care unless you really think you can, you know, beat the crap out of your enemies on this game and then win some soul for doing that. I think that could be of interest as well. What do you think?
100%. I mean, it's one of those games that seems to be pretty basic and pretty straightforward here. So, yeah, no, I think that's a super cool. And what I really appreciate about this is we're actually doing what we promised we would do when we initially launched Ship is actually help connect and support with real builders. Through our abilities in Ship Guild, such as, using our media source to help share awareness, consult with them, help them with marketing and all of that. And I think that's really cool. And then, of course, this is a way that we can, again, bring opportunities to our community here. And yeah, just give people new ways to have some fun in Web3 and with AI, of course. So I actually did share our interns, shout out to you there, Castra, post on the Ship Guild website. And that is the correct date and time. So that will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. UTC, which
Oh, wait.
is I sent it to you. I sent it to the socials group or our socials tab.
Ah, internal there.
Yeah.
Um, okay, but then there is like a proper post of this with the right date from our intern.
Yes. Absolutely
Ah,
nailed it.
okay. So our intern is smart. The intern from our dear builders friends that we actually had them on the live stream, right?
Yeah.
Um, Look, and this is a good point. they clearly need to level up when it comes to this type of communication and collaboration, right? And I think that today we're going to discuss how to build products with AI, but actually, here's a perfect example of how you should actually be using AI to handle this type of things for you, right? These
Yes.
other guys, they are developers, so they are not much into social media and all of that. So it's like a good match for us, which we do have distribution, but in order for us to be effective on this, we need to have the correct information, which of course our lovely intern was able to put in this post. Um, yeah, tournament date, 18th of July, 2 p.m. UTC. So what I understand now is that tomorrow we will join this thing at this time on that platform that I share. We're gonna ask both interns to create a new post with all the links and the explanation, but it's fairly straightforward. You go there, you register with your Telegram account, and then you bet zero point 0.1 Sol. And I think you can win up to almost zero point 0.2 Sol. I'm gonna ask clarifications about that, but of course it is going to be compelling for you to participate. And then what I want to see at some point in the future is the integration of Ship. But I know that that takes more development time.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to go into those details today. But Trav, any reactions to this?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool direction that we're heading here, and particularly about this about Superbet is that it's not going to be confined specifically to Clash Royale. The kind of cool thing about this that really kind of captured my attention is the fact that it essentially makes betting between friends very easy and very secure. So there's it essentially it's kind of like an escrow where that holds on to the bets that you make beforehand, and the way that they actually made um, they incorporate with the games, it makes it very foolproof. So no shady business is possible, which is very clever and really cool as well here. And especially now that like things like prediction markets are so hot, things like yeah, meme coins are still being talked about a fair amount. This is a need in the market. People like to make
Yes,
bets and have fun, and this is a very clever way to empower that to just people doing day to day stuff. Like I think it would have been a really cool opportunity to have this during the World Cup. 'Cause I feel like I don't know how they could have done
that would
that,
have
but
been amazing. Yeah,
that would have been really
yeah.
cool.
But bottom line here, tomorrow we have this event for all members in the community. If you want to get involved, but perhaps we could even sponsor some soul to you if you're a ship holder.
Yes,
Feel free to send me a DM and we will see if we can hook you up. Assuming that you are going to participate, of course. Uh, and obviously, we're going to continue doing this, Trav. I think you nailed it there when when you said like this is part of the entire Ship Guild thesis of collaborating with these other builders, bringing them on stage, giving them the opportunity to highlight their work, collaborate with us, bring some fun. And another thing that I want to comment in relation to this is your second point. I think you mentioned about bettings and what's happening with perps and the like kind of the casino side of crypto, right? Which is not going away. Actually, the reason I'm, you know, supporting Shipgal going to this crypto consumer direction is because I think it fits the market really and where things are going, right? I have shared this
100%.
multiple times. Let me know what you think. I think we're heading into two uh, kind of splits of crypto and blockchain technology, right? One is like the fintech side of things. So all the projects that have something that can offer tangible utility and money-based solutions, right? Like stable coins, real world assets, all of that, the wallets itself, all of that is going into like kind of the fintech direction, right? And it's going to be like I would say at some point perhaps indistinguishable from what we understand now as fintech. Crypto right now is not like fintech properly, but it might merge at some point in the future, at least that part. And the other one is like all the crypto community fun stuff related to gambling, pump.fun, perps, social. I think this week we saw some interesting comments around social tokenized socials. I think that's going to happen, but not in the way we most imagine at this moment. But this is the other direction, right? And one that we are happy to support at ShipGal as well.
100%. So I'm actually curious. You said tokenized socials. This is not like SocialFi. Is this something, or is this?
It is like
It is.
there has been a bunch of experiments in which you have a social network, tokens, and people, doing whatever they want, trading, having these rooms like friendtech in which you would talk to influencers, whatever kind of Ponzi scheme you create on that regards. Not really Ponzi scheme, but like ways to, I think the thing about tokenized socials is ways to assign value to networks, social
Mhm.
networks, and the value that is created within them, the value that is produced by creators, and the ways to align incentives between people who are creatives and people who are supporting those creators. And yeah, like I think we have seen Farcaster Lens. I would argue now the number one social app on crypto would be probably FOMO, in which you essentially can see what others are aping, right? What others are buying, and the idea is like,
Interesting.
and it gives you FOMO, right? And so then you ape. That's kind of the thing uh, that a lot of people are into these days. I think there's a lot of money to be made, to be honest, if you are into that.
Yes.
It is not particularly my area of focus, but I'm
Mhm.
very interested in, supporting with ShipGal, this type of builders, and that the ShipGal app itself takes some of these features and some of these very viral mechanisms so that we can leverage that for our growth.
I love that. I love that. No, that's you brought so many good points. First of all, to kind of react to the first thing that you were talking about here, that clear division that's happening with crypto right now to the fintech on and crypto as an asset on the one side, and then just like the GambleFi on the other side. I think that's very, very true. And there's a huge need for both of them because I honestly think, and this is something that I've been saying since day one, is that the GambleFi gets people's foot in the door. Once they get wrecked, maybe they'll stay, maybe they'll go. But if they stay, they'll realize like the true value that crypto brings. Um, Plus, yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of downside with Gamblify as well, because obviously people still take advantage of a lot of people and it creates a lot of stigma here. But the true value of crypto and decentralization here is that financial freedom that it empowers with people no matter where you are. It's borderless. It helps people's quality of life. There's a lot of real positive value there as well here. So yeah, I definitely agree with that here. And then kind of that comment that you made about how Gamblefy, that scene, the social fi, the FOMO, man. My reaction to that was very cool, and if I was back in my trading days, in my, degen days, I'd probably be on that so fast, and I already felt that little tinge of FOMO, myself as you were describing it here, but, I'm fully committed to building. I don't, want to spend my time kind of diving into that world because I know it will absolutely consume me. Not right now anyways. I wanna keep building here first.
Yeah, and okay, and in regards to that, let me just bring some more people in. If you're watching this right now, we're gonna get started with like the main topic of discussion today, which is how to build a product with AI. I have some tips, of course, and we're gonna look into some of these with the ShipGal app. But before that, I would ask to everyone who's watching to please reshare this space so that we get more people into the room. And Trav, while I'll get some more people into our live stream here, I was
Mhm.
wondering, how do you envision yourself utilizing the ShipGal app? Mostly because you're not a trader. I am not a trader. I have some ideas that I'm going to share today of how I've been using and how I plan to continue using the ShipGal app. But I think this is kind of a personal thing, right?
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts on this direction?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I'm happy to share that. So, it's uh, right off the bat, the view that I'm about to share is going to be kind of the opposite for people who may be wanting to use the Ship Guild app in the same sort of perspective that I am. So my favorite part right now of the Ship Guild app, and I really enjoyed this experience, and I didn't mention this to you earlier there, Quantic, is uploading the research documents. I've
Right.
that provided me an incredible amount of joy. Um, And this has been our core mission in Ship Guild, formerly Web3 Matters, since day one is, we are out here, we are building, we are learning, we are researching. I know we both tremendously enjoy that process here, and we want to share it all with you guys. Now, to anyone who may not know, who may not have gone on to the Ship Guild website, the Ship Guild app yet, which of course is theshipguild.com, one of the things that we have there available to you is the most potent, the most applicable, the most actionable research documents that we put together from researching various topics, primarily so far for AI, running agents, understanding Hermes, all of these different things. And then I recently put up a document for how to basically grow your X account as well that I created from doing deep research into the algorithm. And that uploading that document and creating that document was such a joy for me. And
right?
I've been able to share this with a few friends on the timeline, and the feedback that I got from it before uploading it, because I wanted to make sure, really do that prep, the verification process, actually test it out with some friends. They had some really positive results from it as well. So I almost like fact checked the stuff that I put in there with some actual use cases here as well. And yeah, just actually being able to give back in a real way now to some of my friends, and then our ship holders as well now is like it's happening. Like, we are actually doing it now. All of the hard work we can actually hand over to our community in the form of a document on our app, it was just really, really cool to kind of complete that circle. So to answer your question concisely, that is my favorite part, contributing to the research documents for our community so that they can actually take this very useful information and, you know, create agents, build stuff, or create content better and more efficiently, grow on X so that they can actually win like within days or weeks now, which is really cool.
Right. That's a perfect way of framing what we're going to be discussing up next, which is the main topic of discussion here, going from, you have your idea, how I really create a product, which is like the end state um, of, having your idea materialize in software. Um, so, okay, you mentioned something. I want to add some context here to our people. Actually, give me one more second here because I am going to open up the ShipGal app so that we go over this because it's much more easier for everyone really to really look at things and say, okay, I
Mhm.
understand what this does, right? So what you're seeing on the screen is an application that is going to be our super application called the Ship Guide, in which we really want to bring our entire community and our entire work together here, everything on the same direction, right? And the point is that this application has not been built by Trav, who just wants to upload content, right? And it has not been really built by me, which really I just want to see a good consumer crypto product at the end of the day. I don't care much about the details really, but I do enjoy like lots of the stuff that we're gonna be sharing today. I care more about the process. I care about more building the distribution. I care about acquiring users and teaching people and our team how to go about that process. That's what I'm more passionate about, right? I'm a builder. I care about the process of building, right? If that makes sense. Um, so the question is, who actually created this? And the answer is, this was fully created by AI agents, and it was created in a way in which it has some guardrails from us, from humans. Actually, from me at this stage, I'm leading, I'm controlling the main agent to ensure that we get a solid product, right? And safe and all of that. But bottom line, the agent here is kind of going in a way that it iterates each week on the product. So I don't know all the details, right? And we just need to keep the people that are engaging with the product to give us feedback so that we can give that back to the AI, and the AI continues to build, and we get some more users that way, and that creates like that feedback loop that eventually it will become into something that is fully autonomously operated, meaning you and I are not going to do anything. The app is going to get built on its own. We're going to build a mechanism so that the users, including ourselves, we just provide the feedback. And then the agent takes all of that, evaluates what's really best, such that this becomes a successful product, and it creates that. And that's the entire process, right? How do you feel so far about this?
Oh man, I think it's so cool. Like, if without agents, this wouldn't be possible. Like truly, we are both so preoccupied with the work that we do for Ship Guild, but then also the other work that we have to do in our day to day lives here. That to have an agent fully work and create this site and then continue to improve it it still blows my mind. Agents are not really new anymore, but like seeing the updates that pop up here almost every day, actually, and seeing it get more and more cohesive, more and more like useful, is it's still unreal. I'm kind of lost for words when I think about it here. But then to react specifically to the app itself and that feedback loop that you were talking about. Yes, I think the mechanisms are already in place for that feedback loop to really start to take off. Or it's just a matter of distribution at this point. And but once people start getting into it, they'll find out that the rewards are already real. Specifically to do with our points program, specifically to do
Yeah.
with the research documents that we're giving away and things like that here. So yeah, word of mouth will also go a long way, and soon enough, the distribution will kind of take care of itself. So I think it's a very clever way to go about it. And yeah, just as is our method, slow and steady wins the race. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, we have been able to thrive and survive because of this strategy. We know that this is not like our main thing as of now, and we cannot allocate like the time that perhaps we would like at some point.
Mhm.
But this is growing. That's the important thing. Like as time goes by over the long term, we have been continuously growing, and now that we have this, it's like our entire focus. We have like a north star, right? Which I think is
Yeah.
very important for everyone that is trying to go from like prototyping something into a product. I think the mindset plays a key role. Now, I want to go over two things, Trav. The first
Mhm.
one is okay, today we are going to discuss this practical maturity model that will help you if you're watching this and thinking, okay, I have an idea. I really want to eventually create a product that I perhaps can monetize. We're going to discuss that as well. What are the stages? How do I go about this? This is the thing that is going to help you, right? And it's going to help you actually to you, Trav, and to myself to have this right mental model. Now, question for you though. Do you think that what we have already with ShipGal, the app, is that something that you would call a product?
Good question. My my instinct is no. So I'm trying to define product in my head here. It's something that you
Right?
sell, exchange for like money, essentially. Or would a service be a product as well? Can it? Because in a sense, you might be able to interpret it as a service. Um,
Right. Like usually in business, people talk about either products or services. Both
mhm.
are things that you eventually are kind of like selling, right?
Yeah.
Um, I would argue that in the case of software, you can still argue that you have a product if you have users. That's
Mm,
the bottom line, right?
okay.
For me, I think if you don't have users, it is probably not a product, right? It's just a
Mhm.
hobby or something that you can play with. But if you have users, meaning people that are recurrently utilizing this tool either for free or for paid, you obviously want to get to the paid stage as fast as possible, right? Then you have a product. So in that regards, in that definition, I would call what we already have with ShipGuide a product. Now,
As would I.
there are multiple issues with this product. The first of all is that we're not actually selling anything or monetizing anything. The only thing that you have to do if you're watching this and you want to access like the premium features that we have, you just have to be a ship holder, right? Whatever amount of ship you hold, you can then connect your wallet and you can unlock the materials that Trav was discussing before. And actually, this one at some point we're gonna put it in there. Like what we are doing with Trav, just so that everyone is aware, is like we are doing research, creating new things, finding new ways to utilize AI agents for people that are building stuff, people want to distribute their ideas, their product, their brand, and we just put everything in this application. And if you're a holder, you can just unlock those, and then
Mhm.
you can use that to build your own apps, to grow your followers, whatever it is. Right? We're always looking into something new. The point is that right now, first of all, it is a product because we do have, and perhaps I'm going to show, or we're going to show some statistics at the end.
Yes.
We are having people that are visiting our app, which is right now a web app, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, actually. So we do have users. We're not charging, but we do have users. So I
Absolutely.
would argue we do have a product here. Now, what I want to discuss also is like the process of how did I actually started this, and converted that into something that people are actually using. What are the features that we have? What is like the theory telling us? And how can you, as a viewer, connect all the dots to do the same for your case? For each one of us, it's going to be different, but there are certain fundamental principles that apply. That is kind of the goal of this
Perfect.
session.
So I want to just jump in there real quick, and I just want to kind of summarize that so people are kind of fully grasp what we're just about to talk here. So first of all, let's change the name practical maturity model. Is there a more fun way to say that?
I don't know. Like this is a report made by me, my AI. I have to disclosure here. My AIs are all configured to be like kind of scientifically rigorous, so you won't
I
find
love it.
much fun on that part. But you
Perfect.
will find resources and truth.
So allow me then. So practical maturity model, the sense that I'm getting is how to actually build a product and get paid for it, essentially. How to bring it to market in a sense. Does that make sense? So like the whole process from conception to launch?
So this would tell you exactly like where are you, like a
Mhm,
concrete evaluation of, because it is very critical, right? Like we
mhm.
were just discussing, we didn't have very clear if what we have is actually a product, right?
That makes
I'm
sense.
arguing based on my view that we do have a product. We're going to compare actually that with this. And this
Okay.
is the key thing. Like what you're watching on the screen right now, it will tell you where you are from an external point of view, so that you can evaluate for yourself.
Gotcha, gotcha. So I'm just trying to kind of get to the point of who's actually going to want to watch this right now. And I guess that would be anyone who wants to use AI to make money or anyone who wants to create a product to make money.
Yes, this is going to be super useful for those kind of people, but also if like you're a developer and you just don't know if what stage you are, like, am I
Mhm,
just creating a prototype and calling it a product or an MVP?
mhm.
Do I need to have users? What do I need to focus at this stage? I think it's gonna help you as
Mm,
well.
okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because, like we established earlier, someone who's just in developing, you know, a lot of the times they struggle with that part, like the business component, but then also the distribution component here as well. And there are ways to do it that's going to make the entire process a heck of a lot more efficient, if that makes sense. If I'm describing that right.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And look, right now you can go over these different stages and actually reply with an objective metric or criteria if we do have a product or not with ShipGal. So this is what we're going to be doing, right?
Okay, gotcha. All right,
Okay,
let's dive in.
okay. Glad that you asked those questions, Trava. That's very helpful. Um, mock mock would be your step zero. So you have an idea, and perhaps you have some sort of a screenshot, some sort of Canva diagram, Figma design, and you want to see if that can be turned into a product. That's how you would start, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then you would usually, if you're creating a product, what you're trying to do is solve a specific problem. What is the problem that we are trying to solve? We are creating this community, ShipGal, in which we are attracting builders, content creators, entrepreneurs. We need to have a place in which we share all the materials, we share all the value related to the token, and we actually make it engaging, right? Because an app is not going to be like this boring thing that you have in front of the screen, right?
No.
And that's how the ShipGal actually was born, right? So we had this idea. What we did is we just put a prompt, very general prompt, and it started cooking some, designs, which do not look at all like this. I don't have them to show them, but it's like just that, right? And then what I did was to ask you in the past and ask Castra and our people how you would utilize this, like just in a casual way. Actually, you didn't even realize when I asked you this same question, I think months ago already. Uh, and then actually the answer is consistent though. Your main thing was to put something that is gated, token gated, right? Because you want to attract people, you're creating value through content, you want to attract people. So who are going to be those people that we're going to be providing this value? The token holders, right? And
Makes a lot of
this is
sense.
how we tested that there is something that you as a creator you wanted to solve as a problem, and b someone might be interested, right? Because
Mhm.
if you want to hold the token either by speculation or whatever other reason, or because of its utility really, which is what I would like to see, you will need to provide something else. So the easiest thing to go about this problem was to provide a token gated feature. And by this moment is how the ShipGuile app actually was born, and we got to the prototype. So we went from mock to prototype. The prototype defined the product contract and inspect the architecture. I don't know what that means. I'm actually going to just show you what that means in practice, which is what you actually care. Let me see, where do I have here the ShipGuile app? There you go. So this is the current state of the app, which again, by the metrics that we just show, it is actually a product. It is not a paid product yet, unless you consider holding the token one small amount of tokens, paying for the product. I think yeah, there is a case you can make for that. But bottom line, if you click here on rewards, what you should be able to see is that okay, we have something that we're gonna touch later on, which is like this game of spin the wheel and air points. This is for the farmers, the people that actually want some airdrops. Which, by the way, we're gonna be completing at some point. We already have, I guess, 20 people that have tried this and are trying to farm this, so they're gonna get some tokens, right? Some ship tokens. They can do whatever they want. We haven't specified any rules yet because it is not our main area of focus. Our main area of focus is actually this one, holder exclusive content, right? What we want here is people to hold our token and get access to our premium materials. Do you get that?
100%. Would you like me to pull mine up and I can log in and I can show I won't open any of the documents, but I'll show our audience the documents.
Yes, I think we should do that, such that people can then see how we're matching something that is this idea, including a problem, and someone who is actually trying to solve this problem for themselves. I think that actually makes a lot of sense, right? Like if I'm thinking about solving a problem and you want to stay aligned and work through it throughout time, it would better be a problem that you are aligned with, right? And that you have, and you as a creator, you do have the problem that you need a place in which you can provide that value, upload those resources, and people eventually pay for that, right?
100%. Okay. So here we go. These are the four things that we have here. We have how to reply to Grow on X, which has gotten me it's crazy. I can pull up my stats in a second here, but in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I've gotten over 3 million impressions now. I think 3.5 million impressions in 2 weeks from using this strategy. It's wild.
So
Um,
you're about to get monetized. You went viral, and you're putting this very valuable information on the ShipGal app, and any token holder right now can log and apply those tips, right?
100%. Yes,
And if
exactly.
I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're not publishing all the details on social media. So this is exclusive content.
Correct. Correct. The only people I've given this to are select people who I've connected with just so that they can test it to make sure that it's viable, that it works for them,
Right.
and it does. So, yeah, exactly. This is exclusive for holders of SHIP. And then
Amazing.
let's see what else we got here. Hold up here. We've got the AI token optimization.
Right.
This one will actually save you tons of money. Um, I This is kind of along the lines of a lot of the things that we were speaking about in our last live stream here, where we used my use case as an example, where I used my Hermes agent to build myself my portfolio website from scratch, and it ended up costing me $80 because I did not know any of this stuff that's in this document here. And if I did, I could have I could have made my website simply using my $20 a month subscription, and I would have still had enough tokens to be able to do everything else I needed to do throughout my month that I had those tokens allocated for. So this would have saved me a ton of cash here. So
I mean,
definitely,
you spend like 100 or so, so you save a good amount if
yeah,
you have used this. Um,
100%.
so the point that I'm trying to make here is like we created the platform, we are now creating exclusive value, and people are starting to join here because they can actually use the stuff. So it solves a real problem. That's what I'm trying to communicate.
Very much so, very much so. But in order to actually to use this specific document here, you have to have an agent, of course, so that you can create this stuff. And that's what this document here is for. This is everything you need to know about Hermes, and it's very comprehensive. And I use this as well to help set up my Hermes agent, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. You know, having an agent in my life has changed the game for me, and it's
Completely,
easier now
right?
than ever. So yeah, definitely worth doing here.
Yeah, just for context for everyone who's watching, like Trav has been hearing from myself and other developer about agents for months now. He was afraid to take action mostly because of security concerns.
I
At
was
some point, you gave the leap of faith, and it has radically changed your view on it, right?
100%, radically, night and day, night and day.
Night and day.
I wish I had jumped on it sooner. It's made my workflow so much easier. I have so much more confidence in the research that I do, in the things that I build. And even when it comes to like video editing and motion graphics now, that entire
Right.
process is so much more efficient here in terms of writing scripts, in terms of actually editing itself, finding content, researching, finding B-roll, all like every single component of my video editing process is now significantly better thanks to having an agent.
Right. And look, the other thing that I want to clarify here is the value that is behind like the token itself, right? Because look, what we're doing here is we have a specific knowledge, right? About Hermes, about optimizing the spend of AI tokens, about growing on X. But on top of that, we are adding our input and some deep research made with very capable models, such as
Yes.
Fable 5 or whatever you want to call it. Um, so we're spending money on creating these reports, right? So you have
Yep.
twice as much value. You have the value of the input of the person who knows his shit, right? And it can prove it to you. It's not like bullshit. And you have the value added of the research made by the AI with that input, creating these detailed reports.
100%, 100%. Maybe now is actually a good time to show some receipts here, specifically um, uh, for the um, holy smokes here. I'm trying to multitask again and it's not working. For the analytics that I was able to achieve from that one specific document here, pulling it up as we speak. And let's see here, window. There it is. Perfect. So let's zoom out a little bit more here. So this used to be my engagement way back when,
Wow.
barely zero. And then around here is when I started doing my research. Around here is when I started to implement it. Around here is when I doubled, like I did more research and got more efficient and kind of evaluated this. And then these have been my impressions since. This was my most bullish day, my all-time high ever. Like, I had some pretty amazing days of impression back then, but this one just absolutely smokes it out of the water. In one day, I had 555,000 impressions, which is amazing. And this 2 week span here, which I have about 3.1 million impressions in a 2 week span, is what I based the document, the Replying for Growth. And yeah, I'm really excited to be able to get to this point here of doubling down and really, committing to the growth here because again, already it's amazing the opportunities that come with that. So yeah, really excited to be able to share that. And it's oops, hold on a second. Why did I pull that up? That's not at all what I want to do here. Uh Here we go. Let's pull this back up. There we go. Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to do this because this truly has added tremendous value to my life. Not just the idea that I'm gonna get monetized from doing this here, but the networking that I've been able to do from this, first of all, has been like the most game changing component here. It adds a tremendous amount of credibility to the work that I am doing out here, which is awesome. And then real like actionable opportunities have been showing up in my DMs here that are I'm so fortunate and so lucky to have. But I only would have gotten those opportunities from showing the commitment that I've been showing these days here, and it's 100% worth it for me to have done that and to be able to share that with our community now in a really like a real substantial thing that has helped change my life for the better. Give that away to our community is pretty freaking rewarding here. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there. Otherwise, I'm gonna get too excited there, Quantic.
No, I think it's great. I'm loving this process, and you know, you can see now how we went to, just having an idea, very kind of broad and vague, to now having something very concrete and with
Yeah,
results.
definitely. With the results is the key thing here. Um, it's great to finally be having those results instead of kind of just coasting. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
And look, because our promise was to explain how to actually build a product with AI, I do want to share again the screen and show some of the internal process that we have been following in order to get there. So again, just to recap, guys, let me just pull out this boring piece for the final time. So this shows you the different stages from going from, just having a mock, an idea, to actually having a production ready app product that people are actually using. That's the goal, right? And
Yeah.
then there are some steps here which are like releasing an alpha and a private beta. I would say probably we are some way between like public beta because our application is public, and actually like production,
Mm,
mostly because the app has users, like I mentioned, the ShipCal app has people that are using it on a daily basis. Guys, actually, by the way, post about this stuff because otherwise we don't get the visibility and nobody knows. Um, and okay, but that's not it, right? When you really have a product, you will have users that you can track, and I'm going to explain what I mean by track, uh, in a recurrent way, that are engaging with specific features, right? So what we have done is, first of all, we prompted the idea into something that we deploy it to Vercel. This app started like a simple, very simple app on Vercel in which you were able to connect your wallet and just see some data about the token. That's how it started.
Mhm.
And then we shared the feedback and refined the problem and value proposition. And each time we do that, we started interacting with systems that can build the thing for us. At first, it was fully made by Hermes, utilizing Cloud Code. This is the most standard setup that people have been using to create vibe coded apps. But we wanted to take it a step further. And so what I did was, okay, first I have experience creating like technical products. So I was able to put everything on a very long prompt, really, or a doc spec, specifying really how this would look like, what would be the security measures, the stack for this back end, front end, kind of different components and all of that. You can actually ask the AI to do that for you, by the way. You don't need to be technical in order to do that. I took the pleasure of doing it because I just can and I enjoy it. But you don't need to
I'm
know
glad you
like,
shared that actually. But is sorry, just to clarify for somebody who is curious about doing something like this, like building a crypto app using AI, do they have to make sure to tell the AI agent, figure out the security for me, or is that something that it will bring up because it's just kind of common sense that if you're building something crypto related, it has to have security?
okay, yeah, great question. So let me elaborate on that. Um, there are multiple layers to security. The one that
Mhm.
you're probably asking is where, if it is a crypto app, you're asking people to connect their wallet. If they're gonna collect their wallet, you better do something so that people cannot get their funds stolen, right?
Yep.
That's the type of number one security that you would have. And you can actually, for non-DeFi protocols, you can actually, I have tested at least that you can pretty much be safe just with AI, auditing all the security stuff with AI without you actually knowing much about it, right? So
Mm.
you just ask the AI to create that checklist to actually, try to hack if you can simulate that, and get the security measures from there. A different story comes when we're gonna ask people to do more commitments with their funds. So let's
Mhm.
say right now this app doesn't have any stake features like hard stake in which you connect your wallet and your tokens abandon your wallet and go somewhere else. That is not there, mostly because for my standards that would require AI security audits and people auditing that as well. And that prevents a lot of people actually to create products because they don't have a budget for the security aspect.
Mhm.
I would say for as long as you're having extra security measures, let's assume you're going to allow people to stake. Perhaps you do not allow them to stake more than 1K, just to say something. Then
Mhm.
it's okay. You can do it with AI. If you're going to ask people to stake $1 million on your
Mhm.
protocol, that thing better be audited multiple times by people
Yep.
and AIs,
So otherwise you go viral and not in a good way. You
and
make
not
the
in
you make the
in a good.
news
Yeah,
for
and
something
we
like that.
obviously we're experienced enough to not fall for that.
No.
Obviously, this can always happen to anyone because with this AI advancement, it's like, you never know.
Yep.
Okay, so that's one thing. The security and the go about like, you prompted something, it come to realization, you can use Lovable, Replit, your local environment to create your first app. You can just prompt it in one like long prompt, you can get your first prototype, right? The question is what comes after. We have explained it thousands of times, and we even have a mini course on how to create like your entire first vibe coded app. I don't know where's the link, but you should find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
um the point of today is like going the step beyond, which is like creating a real product. Again, real product means real users, paid or non-paid, and a problem that you're solving. In the case of Shipcal, the core problem is everything related to someone that is holding our token. Um, okay, and then you would at some point scale this, deploy it in a way that is like for your friends, for yourself to test it out. You're going to improve, you're going to learn about the security. What does it really entail to deploy an app in terms of like what are the tools necessary to do that? Here, a tip is like you can just use Vercel for your first version, and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. At this level with ShipGal, you have some databases and other things to manage. So it's like a little bit more involved. But the good news, you don't have to worry about that if you're like non-technical, because you can use like real tools that are for software developers, but that are now available because of how things have evolved for non-technical people. And
Oh
I have
wow.
discovered that Devin is probably the most underrated tool that you can use in AI for vibe coders right now. Um,
Interesting.
it is
What's it called
created
again? Devin?
Devin. Yeah, let's actually
Devin. Devin.ai.
yes. Oh, this took me immediately to my organization. I don't know the link. I will have to find it. But it's by Cognition. Like this is like an AI software engineer, essentially. So
Wow.
the thesis, if I understand correctly, is like this AI is so good that it's literally like hiring a real software engineer. And I was a little bit skeptical at first. I tried it out. I know about coding and creating software, so I can be safe that I can evaluate that. And I can confidently say that it is one of the most impressive things that I've seen. And I think a lot of people probably are missing on this. I know that there are real companies shipping real production apps using this, not one, just many. But I know that the point that I'm trying to make here is that regular people can actually use it as well. And this is
Wow.
actually what we use to create ShipGal from this byte coded app on Vercel with this mock idea to an actually live and production application with users. And
Perfect.
you can see the entire process on this conversation, and it will, do many things, including testing, and it's going to record that as well. It's like quite
Oh wow.
impressive in all the things that it can do, right? And you will
Unreal.
interact with it just via prompt. So you will tell it, hey, create this app, fix this feature, evaluate. But not only that, it can ship to production. So you can connect it to your GitHub, Vercel, whatever accounts. You can give all the credentials in a safe way,
Yeah.
and it's going to work, and it's going to be an entire, it's like having a real person, software engineer, taking care of your entire development process, right? It
So
does the
is this is what
PRs,
we're seeing
tests.
now?
Yes,
This is actually the AI doing this right now, and it recorded it autonomously.
yes.
That is that is super cool. That is wild. I still get very excited by these basic things here. I think this is the neatest thing in the world. We're actually seeing the AI record that or auditing and trying to problem solve issues that happened with the building of our app that it was successfully able to do so. That is so cool. And I see the tick list on the side as it kind of figured out each problem. That is wild. And
Yeah,
once again, this
this
is
was
on Devin.ai.
yes, and I was like, I'm gonna tell the story because I was super lucky to. There was a sort of giveaway of credits that Nader was doing, uh, for utilizing this
Yes.
tool with the Max account, and I was like, dude, if you give me this, I will do something for Proofrells. And I thought, this is gonna take me a lot of time and credits. I didn't know much about the tool, and it did it in a perfect way in just like minutes. And I was like, what the hell can I do next? And I decided, you know what? Instead of having Hermes to go through this process of myself giving it feedback back and forth, taking time, and use spending my credits from Cloud Code, I'm
Mhm.
gonna go all in into this direction, and I'm gonna see if we can get the app fully into production mode with Devin. And the answer is that no problem at all.
Unreal. Man, so I think that's probably one of our most practical, takeaways from our live stream today is if you're looking to build some sort of an app, Devin.ai is a very legitimate and completely underrated resource for you to be able to do that. Is, am I accurate in saying that there, Quantic?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is the best AI tool that I have ever used for full stack software development.
Wow,
That's my assessment.
unreal, unreal. That's really exciting. I'm really glad. I'm really excited to see this. And what the interesting thing there, Quantic, is that I remember when you were posting about this. I remember when you posted that you got those free tokens to be able to test this out, and I was happy for you. Yeah, like I was all like, good for you. You won something. That's cool. Sounds like interesting, but I didn't understand, the depth of like what those implications were. it took me building my own AI agent. It took me building my own product, or I guess it's not technically not a product. It's a website. So it's a product for me essentially. And it took me kind of going troubleshooting and being a part of building our Ship Guild app and understanding things that are involved in that to truly appreciate now, just today, the implications of that. And
Right.
that's massive, man. That is massive.
It is because this thing can handle the entire development software process. There is a bunch of things that goes in between, right? Like
Yeah.
writing the code, testing it, fixing bugs, creating a PR, pushing to production. All of that stuff is like what makes people that can vibe code via prompts just get stuck and they cannot ship
Yeah.
a real product. With this thing, I'm 100% confident. I mean, we have the proof. You can ship a
Yeah.
product.
So this
And
is
that's a, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I was gonna say that right there, I think is is a great summary of what we're trying to accomplish today. Is that the whole production of an app is not as basic as prompting and building an app. There are
Yes,
layers
it
to it,
is
there
not.
are levels to it, and it's important to be aware of those if you truly want to be successful. And not only have in our live stream today have we kind of presented what those steps are, alpha, beta, inception, all these different things here, but we've also recommended a resource that will help take care of the whole thing for you. And yeah, I just I'm really excited that this is all coming together here. So
It
no,
is. It is.
great,
Wonderful times.
definitely, man. So real quick, I know we're basically out of time here, but what's next for you? What are you building soon? What are you excited about for the future here? What do you
W-
want to do next?
Well, one of the things that I want to do is get myself as out of the loop as possible from this process because I'm still in charge, right? So what I do is like I receive feedback from users, from testers, from friends, and then I collect those. I give it to my Hermes agent. My Hermes agent creates a prompt. Then I copy paste that prompt and give it to Devin.
Yeah.
Um, I want to go away from that and create a system in which the feedback is given, you know, autonomously. We create a system perhaps via Google Forms. I don't know the answer yet. And
Mhm.
then another AI analyzes, filters what actually doesn't make sense with our goals, filters what we should actually take care of, including fixing bugs. And then it gives to probably Devin or a related tool. And, at that point, it can go to the end of the world, let's say, in a way that it doesn't require anyone, not you, not myself, like driving
Wow.
this. We're just we sit down, we relax, and we just give the feedback so that is useful for us. Because bottom
Yeah.
line, I want this app to be useful for me and for you, right? Uh,
Mhm.
as well as for all of our holders.
That's exciting. The full autonomy to the agent so that they can do it and your hands can be just off and you can, you know, take your valuable time, which is incredibly valuable, by the way, here. You're very experienced, connected, well-resourced individual here to do other things, build the next big thing, next big quantic empire here. So that's really exciting, man.
Yeah, I mean, what I want to do now is like solve all of these problems and get the entire Web3 matters. Oh, sorry, I said Web3 matters. The entire
Oh,
ShipGuard team to run run on autopilot with these tools, right? You're just
yes.
getting started with Hermes, and you have seen a very important transformation. Our social media manager is like testing the waters, increasing productivity. But I want everyone to be in its most sharp way and
Mhm.
contributing as much as possible. And you guys like knowing what to do and keep growing, growing, growing as fast as possible, right? We're making incremental steps here of
Yes.
progress when it comes to social media. We have the receipts when it comes to the app, but it's like very slow, one step at the time. I want
Mhm.
to keep training all of us so that at some point it's like we're just machines, right? And
Yeah.
we understand how we actually use AI agents and AI based tools so that this whole thing is like made for us and we're just like the decision makers
I
essentially.
love it. We're the puppeteers, if you will. That's cool. Maybe
Exactly.
I'll share real quick what my plan is here. So it's a bit of an ambitious plan, but I'm really glad that we had our live stream today because it clarifies a bunch of things for me. So essentially, my one of my roles with Ship Guild, and I almost said Web3 Matters as well here, is the socials growth. So creating clips from our live streams, doing the research on how to make them as efficient as possible, and then growing our YouTube X account and TikTok. So essentially, I use AI for almost every component of it for finding the most concrete or the most valuable moments in our live streams. Um, Coming up with the SEO posting packages for all the different platforms, coming up with the like good ideas for the posts and things like that. But that's the still the part that's the most time consuming is actually editing all of those posts together, following the recommendations from my Hermes agent, to have like it's suggested B-roll, it's suggested on-screen um, comments and things like that. It takes a decent amount of time because the I use AI on Riverside. It spits out things that are very, very basic, but still huge shout out to Riverside because the fact that it's able to do that is amazing here. But there's still a big role that I have um, to make it perform as I want it to. So essentially, because I have AI basically manage all of these other steps and it's up to me to put it together, I would like to actually create my own clipping app to be able to do that for me. So that's kind of my
So
next ambition.
okay, because maybe with this is something that we can have like the creators corners on the ShipGuide app. The only okay, and this is where experience matters, right? The only problem that I see with that is like you will need some sort of AI credit system so that when people use it, they are consuming their credits or
Yeah,
our credits that we are reselling to them in a way.
yeah,
That's kind of a system problem, right? I
100%.
think we can find a solution to that at some point. Probably it's not gonna be our priority, but
Mhm.
bottom line here, you are seeing the future, which is people having services in which the entire output is like input AI tokens, output the task that you want in a very fine-tuned way, right? And it can only be
Definitely.
done by more agents, really.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I'm kind of going about this as I want to solve my problem first. And my problem is I want to save my own time and have the clipping done autonomously so that I can focus on other things here, which is a shame because I do love that, but I, I, I have, I have a busy life. I have other things that I have to do every single day here. So yeah, to be able to build that for myself for our own workflow is kind of first things first, but then kind of making that leap over to making it accessible for our community is absolutely something that will be done. It's cool that now we have agents that we can discuss and figure out how exactly to do that. So, and it's actually possible now. We don't need to hire on developers and have them do it for us. So, it's a cool time to be alive. That's for sure.
Awesome. Look, I think yeah, there's one step up at the time. Just one final question before we wrap it up. The main problem that you have, or like the main input in this entire thing is like selecting the clips or the transcript. What is like the main pain point?
It's actually getting the footage. So selecting the footage and then getting the footage post ready. So there's just like the actual editing itself, refining it, and then adding the extras so that it will actually perform on
Uh,
whichever platform. It's just yeah, everything like all the instructions. It's all there. It's all ready. It's just getting that final product ready to push. It takes about half hour to an hour per clip.
what I would recommend is like you try and find a way to start documenting the process in the most accurate with all the context. Let's say your first step is like open the app, download things from Riverside, and then selecting ones that are better, right? So that would be like a first step. Then the second would be what are the elements you really want to see and describe that. And
Mhm.
as soon as you have all of that, we can start thinking about really how the product would look like in practice.
Perfect. No, I think that's really exciting. And I think actually, as a first step, this is something that I'm excited. And maybe I'll talk about my experiences with this next week. So stay tuned here. But we'll talk about this behind the scenes, of course. Is I want to explore the new Claude browser extension, and I'm wondering if I could have the Claude browser extension actually use Riverside for me and edit through the browser on Riverside to make these clips for me. I don't know yet. I want to figure that out, but I'm really excited to see that. So, and then Claude Cowork as well, being able to integrate other applications. Maybe there's a way there that can also make it more efficient here. And I know we could actually post to YouTube and TikTok through Riverside as well. So, there might be something there. There might be something there. It might, without actually having to build a full application here. So, which I would still want to do. I would still want to do that because I think that's worth it. And then I can it, again, kind of bring it to that next level of performance here. But for the time being, maybe this will work.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. One step at the time, trap. It's been an amazing journey so far and a great live stream. I think we should really things that most people are not aware really.
Yeah.
And but perhaps we should do a final call to action about the tournament tomorrow. Do you want to take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, definitely make sure to check out our post on X on our Ship Guild profile. There it is. And we have a super bet competition where all the details are on the actual post itself. But essentially, we have partnered with Super Bets to help share what they are building on Solana with the community here, and we're having a tournament for Clash Royale where you can actually play games and then bet with your partner, your friend, and whoever wins gets the payout here. And there'll be some cool prizes. It's at 2 p.m. UTC, which is 7 p.m. PST at 7 a.m. PST, 11 or 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock a.m. EST. Again, check out our web or our X bio or our X profile. It's all there. And really excited to be able to share this with you guys here. I think it's going to be a really fun opportunity.
Yeah, we will see if we're around. We should be participating for sure. If not, like don't worry, guys. This is a first trial, and if you need some tokens, let us know. But we're gonna be doing more of this type of collaboration, and we're gonna bring some more prizes as well. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Yes. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We will see you next Friday and we will see you on the timeline. And we'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
More.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.